Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Izahwati Fauzi from class C. In this video, I will explain to you the answer I cut from the question in a paragraph. Okay, for the first question, what is the passage mainly discussing? A. Advantage of using wood in the colony. B. Effects of wood abundance in the colony. C. Roots of the Industrial Revolution. And D. Difference between charcoal and iron cooking. Well, on this question, I focus on mainly discussing. Then I think it's about the main idea in this paragraph. What is the main idea? Okay, the main idea is an idea that the core of a paragraph. Each paragraph should have a main idea so that the reader knows what the author is trying to convey in his writing. How do we find the main idea? Okay, we find it after we read all of from the paragraph from paragraph 1, 2, and so on, while understanding the meaning of each paragraph. Okay, after reading the first paragraph, I understood, and finally I answer A. The advantage of using wood in the colonies. Why I answer it? Because I saw from the sentence the colonies enjoyed a big advantage, and as reinforcement in this paragraph, I also found it in paragraph 2 in the sentence the availability of wood brought advantage that have seldom been appreciated. So, main idea here, in my opinion, is taken from the main point in each paragraph, not just focusing on one paragraph. And then, the third paragraph, I also found out about the answer I chose, which is about the advantages of wood too. In the sentence, the supply of wood covered advantage but has some negative aspect as well. Even though I didn't answer B, C, or D, but I also understood and found it, but this is included in the supporting sentence, not to be discussed. Okay, for number 2, which of the following is a common assumption about North American forests during the colonial period? A. They contain only a few types of trees. B. Exist only along the Atlantic coast. C. They have little or no economic value. D. They cover the whole continent. The second question about the assumption of the forests of North America, I answer D. They cover the entire continent. I answer D because from what I have found and understood in the sentence, the first colonials did not, as many people imagine, find an entire continent covered by climax forests. Here we need to underline. Then, the sentence, even along the Atlantic seaboard, the forest was broken at many points. Nevertheless, all sorts of fine trees abounded. In the sentence, all of sort of fine abounded as evidence of assumption about the forests of North America. Then I also find in the sentence, by the end of the colonial era, the price of wood had risen slightly in central cities, but wood was still extremely painful. Like that. For number 3, according to the passage, by the end of the colonial period, the price of wood in eastern cities A. rose quickly because of wood was becoming so scarce. B. Much higher than it was in Britain. C. Was slightly higher than in previous years. D. Decreased rapidly because of lower demand of wood. Okay, in number 3, I answered D. Was slightly higher than in previous years. On the third number, I answer C, because I found in the sentence, by the end of the colonial era, the price of wood had risen slightly in eastern cities, but wood was still extremely plentiful. So what I understand here from the end of the colonial era means that maybe the end of the year, and the price of woods likely increase this year, like that. Okay, for number 4, what can be inferred about houses in Britain during the period written about in the passage? A. They were more expensive than American houses. B. They were generally built with important materials. C. They were typically smaller than homes in North America. D. They were usually built from materials other than wood. This number 4, I choose D. They were usually built from material other than wood, because I found this in the sentence, because Britain was so stripped of tears, she was unable to exploit her rich iron mines. So, I think the meaning of stripped of tears is that there is no wood, and in the sentence, when Britain developed coke smelting, this means that Britain houses can use coke or other materials other than wood, like that. So for number 5, according to the passage, why was the use of coke smelting advantageous? A. It led to advance in technology. B. It was less expensive than wood smelting. C. It produced a stronger type of iron than wood smelting. D. It stimulated the demand for wood. In number 5, I choose A. It led to advance in technology, because I find in the sentence, coke smelting led to technological innovation and was linked to the emergence of the Industrial Revolution. So what I understanding is that coke smelting is profitable because of innovation for technology and its progress for the Industrial Revolution. For number 6, where is the passage does the author begin to discuss in detail the disadvantages that an abundant supply of food brought to the colonies? I answer B. In line 5 until 7. I found from the sentence, American had a wonderfully plentiful supply of wood. The first colonists did not, as many people imagine, find an entry contained covered by a climax forest. Even along the Atlantic seaboard, the forest was broken at many points. This certainly shows the loss of the supply of wood, which is too abundant to become forest damage. Okay, I think that's all from the explanation of my answer. Hopefully everything is correct and I got the maximum score. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.